Welcome back, everyone, to From the Couch. Today it is May 3rd, 2026. We got Levi, and today we bring on a new member of the From the Couch podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Matt.
Yeah,
What
Matt,
up, guys?
welcome.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to talk about the NFL draft later on. And like I was kind of talking to you guys before the show, like coming across your podcast. So on Instagram, how it just popped up out of nowhere. So excited to be here.
Yeah, for those of you that do not know, Matt, Levi, and I all went to the same college. We were all actually college dorm roommates back in college. Shout out Hills Hall, second floor.
That
Back
transfer
in
floor.
Second floor, man. That
transfer
place
floor.
was lit.
That was lit. That was a lit place. But yeah, Matt is going to be a reoccurring member as a part of our podcast family moving forward. He's going to bring us up a lot for NFL draft related stuff, NFL news related stuff, and also like we're going to get into some basketball talk possibly later in the future as well with Matt. So it's awesome to have him be a part of this family. Levi, what do we miss in terms of our rapid fire news for this podcast?
Yeah, we missed at least one big thing so far. Saudi Arabia is no longer providing funds to Live Golf, and it's officially comes at the end of 2026. Pretty wild news for golf. A little bit shocking to me. Something that I'm sure we're gonna hear more about in the coming days. We're also full swing here into the NHL playoff second round. We're getting ready to prepare for that. A few notable things happened in the playoffs so far. Minnesota Wild, they won their first series in 11 years in the playoffs. So shout out to them. The Buffalo Sabres, they won their first playoff series since 2007. Very, very interesting for Buffalo. We'll get into that. And then the Vegas Golden Knights and Utah Mammoth, they were the only game 7 for the first round of these playoffs. What are your guys' thoughts?
I've been following the NHL playoffs closely. I think one thing to note is the fact that I think I this is on me 100%. I forgot to mention also the fact that the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning, I believe, are also in a game 7 as well. That's just something that information that I forgot to add on. But yeah, it's been awesome. The Vegas Golden Knights series has been awesome. Shout Buffalo. Buffalo has been some awesome fans this playoffs, and I love the fact that again, like Buffalo in general, like with the Bills and all that stuff, like they've been awesome. Also, shout out to the Utah Mammoth with their Zammoth Zamboni. Awesome. That's absolutely amazing.
Zamus Zamboni. I love that. Very
Yeah,
Zammoth.
Got to get an image of that up.
Yeah. But also, guys, we got to get out to Buffalo at some point. That crowd is awesome. Like super awesome fans.
Oh yeah, I was
Any
gonna
of
say.
our Buffalo followers, man, if you guys can get us over there so we can have the true Buffalo fan experience, I'm telling you, you guys get lit. I would love to be a part of that. Get us over there if you can.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, those Buffalo fans, like, I don't know about the hockey fans, but the NFL fans, like, the things they do are pretty wild. Like, I mean, jumping on tables. I remember seeing one clip. I think it was in a winter. I forgot what year where they jumped onto a table that was on fire. I mean, you guys know how to get lit at these games, and it would be dope to be a part of that environment and just see how they operate. I mean, it's crazy.
Matt, do you remember that one year where the Buffalo fans were doing the Feed the Pit, which is like the groundwork for where their new stadium was going to be at, and they kept on throwing in like tables and like stuff in there. It was like doing Feed the Pit, and the Buffalo Police Department had to put out a tweet, be like, "Please stop feeding the pit. You need to stop doing this," and it did not stop Buffalo fans.
I mean, they're really classy fans. I mean, every time in the winter when the stadium is all snowed out, and I mean they come out and shovel their stadium. I mean, they're shoveling out those seats. I know they've donated
loyal
to,
fan base.
Yeah, very loyal. They donated to charities of opposing teams. Like if they beat a team and it was a very like bitter defeat, I mean, they would donate to that, pro players charity I mean, they're really good fans. So yeah, for any Buffalo fans watching, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, but also I did see that Buffalo, they did like a specialty like drink for like alcohol and stuff. They did it in like in a saber form, like a sword,
Oh, that's
and
pretty
like
cool.
they just like they
Oh,
drink it like that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, it is very sick. I'm not gonna
That's
lie. I
cool.
did
that's
again.
fire.
It's very cool. I don't partake in any alcohol drinking, but I will say that is a very cool like novelty item that they
Yeah,
did promote for the
100%.
playoffs.
Yeah, I love that. That's incredible. Going along those lines at the NFL, guys, we just had an NFL draft, a massive draft going on last week, and a
Record
lot of
breaking.
different, well, record breaking. That's right. I mean, Pittsburgh, I believe they had the stat 805,000 attended that entire weekend, and record breaking for them. Very incredible. Obviously, me being a Pittsburgh fan, very excited about that. But we had a lot of players go in that draft and a lot of different reactions. You already got my take on the Steelers with Drew Aller. We don't need to talk about that again. But we do need to talk about the winners and losers from this draft. Peter, why don't you start us off with one of your winners?
Yeah, my first winner that I wrote down was the Dallas Cowboys. I thought that they knocked it out of the park this draft. Getting Caleb Downs at the 11th overall pick when he's usually a top 5 prospect. They did a great job trying to solidify their secondary probably for the next like decade plus. And I thought that what they did with the edge rushing situation, trying to get that addressed in the first round with the edge rusher from UCF, uh, also a great pick. Helps solidify stopping the run. Hopefully, he develops into a great pass rusher. Because I think that overall, like you can definitely tell, they're taking a defense first approach. Again, they're moving on from Matt Eberflus because Matt and I know that from experience. Matt Eberflus not great at defense. So hopefully, moving forward, the Dallas Cowboys get better defensively.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really agree with you. Solid pick with Caleb Downs. I think you mentioned that they traded Miami, right, for that pick.
I didn't mention it, but yeah, they did trade up with Miami to get that
Yeah,
pick.
I think it was a great trade. I mean, Caleb Downs, very physical, very fast, safety. Was really good at Alabama. Me and Levi being Ohio State fans, when we landed him in that transfer portal, it was huge. But yeah, I mean, he's going to bring a lot to Dallas. I mean, Dallas fans have a lot to look forward to. And they have a really good defensive depth chart, right? They got Kobe Durant from the Rams. They have Malik Hooker, who will be on the other side of him. So yeah, overall, I really agree with that pick. That was a really good pickup for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, Jerry Jones, whatever you're doing over there, you need to keep doing that because you got a lot of frustrated Cowboys fans, but you guys went after a safety, something you guys literally just lost a massive piece last year in Micah Parsons. So very happy with their pick. Caleb Downs was an incredible first round pick for them. And yeah, I think we're pretty excited to see where they're going to be going forward next year.
Yeah, Matt, who did you have as a winner for this draft?
Yeah, winner. You mentioned right the Cowboys, Caleb Downs. For me, a team I was really impressed with was the Giants. I really feel like the Giants addressed a lot of key needs. When you even focus with what they have already, Jackson Dart, Scatabo, which that dude is crazy. So hopefully, I mean, he has a long career ahead of him. That dude, I mean, the way he plays, the physicality. I mean, so they have a really good team in front of them. And I mean, they added Arvell Reese, who was a part of that Ohio State defense. Really good pickup for them. That's going to bolster the linebacker squad. And then I really like the offensive tackle they got out of Miami. I think Francis. Don't know how to pronounce his last name. Don't want to do him dirty, but you guys know who I'm talking about. And then they got Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame, so a nice X receiver, outside receiver. So yeah, I would say that the Giants are my winner, my first winner, because they addressed a lot of needs and got a lot of good players who should be giving them good production, especially that offensive tackle who will help keep Dart protected.
Yeah. I really like you how to mention the Arvell Reese pick because mine was the Jets. That's actually one of the true winners that I really enjoyed seeing make their picks. And I would argue they should have gone with Arvell Reese in the Jets, but they picked David Bailey, and this guy's still a very incredible player. And but overall, the Jets, they addressed a lot of issues. One of the biggest things we've been talking about in this offseason, the Jets did not get any interceptions last year. And That's just something you cannot have happen. So you clearly need to go out there. You need to get some players on that edge that's going to help further increase that pressure,
Yep.
that QB, and hopefully get them some more turnovers. I mean, you got none last year. You can at least get one interception this year. Come on, Jets fans. I know you guys want it. You guys have
Just
to get
one.
something going here.
Just one.
Just one. That's the record you got to beat. But overall, they had an incredible draft. They addressed pretty much every single need. And yeah, hopefully this is going to be a big turnaround for the Jets this year. Very incredible.
Maybe to celebrate, if they get that one turnover, I'll give away a jersey.
No. Matt, do you remember back when Cleveland did their whole they would put a chain around where the Bud Lights were at?
Oh yeah,
and they said you don't get to open that up until you get your first win of the year.
Yep.
They need to do that with the interception thing. It's like once you get your first interception, the chain's on break and just free beers for everybody.
I was gonna say, I mean, if Jets get that interception, it's literally just one interception. If you get that, then maybe a lucky fan could win a Jets jersey giveaway.
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want that. They don't want to tack on more depression to Jets fans.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, it builds character. It builds character.
Hey, exactly.
That's right. It builds some character.
All right, Levi, who do you have as a winner?
Well, I picked the Giants as well, but since we've kind of already covered that, I'm actually gonna go with the Titans. They had an okay going forward. And one of the interesting things that they picked was Carnell Tate. Again, kind of going back to our Ohio State roots. I love that pick for them. They needed a lot of things addressed, at least for the offense. And Cam Ward needs some help. He needs some help there. Carnell Tate, I know he wasn't the starter guy. He was our second going forward for Ohio State's wide receivers. But don't underestimate Carnell Tate. Yeah, I know we had Jeremiah Smith there, but Carnell Tate, he showed up when we needed it, and I think he's going to be able to prove that here in Tennessee. So I was very excited for the Titans being able to get him in the draft. Overall, they mostly focused on their defense. I think they've addressed a lot of the needs that they needed going forward into this season. So, but yeah, I'm really hoping that the Titans will have a great turnaround here, and getting Cam Ward some help. I think that's the biggest overall story we need to see here from them.
Yeah. That again, I thought that the Jets, not Jets. What are we talking about? Yeah, I agree with you, Levi. I thought that was a really good job by them in terms of their drafting. In terms of really, again, the Tennessee Titans just did a great job, just with their drafting situation, helping build around. Cam Ward. Help him build around him. That's super important, especially with the draft of Carnell Tate and Falk, really the edge rusher that they need last season.
I mean, hopefully he has a better year than he did in my Madden 26 Titans rebuild franchise I started. Yeah, it was rough. Maybe it's user issue. I ended up trading him. I traded him to the Seahawks.
Oh, yeah. Really? Okay.
Yeah, so going off what Peter said, hopefully he has a good year this year with the weapons he's gotten.
All right. I'm going to list off the rest of my winners. I wrote down Cleveland Browns. I thought Cleveland Browns did a phenomenal job in terms of what they did. Again, building that offensive line. Again, whoever is going to be the Cleveland Browns quarterback, salute. But they definitely need to build the offensive line a little bit. Their offense was so putrid. Here's the thing. You can't really go into next season with that elite defense with no offense. So they did focus a lot this year on this year's offense. I love the Fano pick for offensive tackle, but also I love the Casey Concepcion pick. I thought that he was a great pick, speedy receiver, someone in the slot. Because outside of Jerry Jeudy and Tyler Fannin, they had nobody to give the ball to. I mean, Quinshon Junkins is good, but again, he's a great speedy back, out of getting outside the numbers. But the problem is the fact that he just he's not a good receiving back. So I thought they did a great job as well. My last winner, you guys will get kicked out of this. LinkedIn you are my winner for this year's draft as well, because LinkedIn, I've never seen a commercial for LinkedIn my entire life. Fernando Mendoza is the first ever player that I've ever seen get an official sponsorship from LinkedIn. So shout out to LinkedIn, shout out to Fernando Mendoza, because as soon as he got picked, he literally updated his profile saying NFL quarterback.
That
So
was
shout out
wild.
LinkedIn.
That was so wild. Me and my coworker were watching the draft, and that came up, and we were like, "He has a commercial already with LinkedIn." I was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, not Nike, not like a
No,
beverage
yeah,
company. LinkedIn of all of
that is
all places.
hilarious. That
It's
is
so
hilarious.
funny. But LinkedIn, you are my winner from this year's NFL drafts.
Yeah, I love that from them.
All right, Matt, who are the rest of your winners?
Yeah, you guys chose some good ones. Peter, the Browns one, you're gonna see very similar. My next one, not to be biased here, so for you guys who are watching, I'm a Bears fan. I really liked how the Bears drafted. I'm gonna give them a win on this one. They addressed the safety need. I mean, we know Jaquan Brisker departed actually to Levi's team, the Steelers. So losing out on Jaquan Brisker was a big hit, but then we brought in Dylan Thieneman from Oregon. Same thing, very flashy, very explosive. So really like that pick. They addressed the center need, the guy out of Iowa, and then they got a wide receiver corner. They got that tight end, and so overall, I think the Bears addressed a lot of important needs. But that Dylan pick, really good. I feel like he's more like a coverage guy, where I felt like as Jaquan Brisker was more of just like, I'm going to go hit guys, pop guys, which is really good. But we also needed someone who could really, boost that secondary. And we know Brisker had some injury issues, but I mean, hopefully he has a better career in that second half with the Steelers. My next pick, the Browns. I mean, yeah, same thing, Peter. They addressed that offensive tackle. We know that O line took a big hit in this past offseason. I think most of those guys, if I'm correct, I think most of them hit free agency. Their contracts were up.
Correct.
So that Spencer Fano pick was a big one. He looks really good. Played at Utah, correct? Right?
Yes,
Utah?
correct. Yep.
Yeah. There was so many guys from Utah and Miami. So yeah, really like him. And then yeah, that KC Concepcion guy from Texas A&M. I mean, like you said, we don't know who the quarterback is going to be there. But whoever it is, got a really good old lineman and got a wide receiver. So yeah, props to the Browns. Definitely a winner there.
All right, Levi, who are your winners?
Well, kind of what I covered two. I would say another winner going forward would have been. I mean, I'm guess I'm going to be a little bit biased here. I will say that the Steelers, they did have a pretty good draft. I mean, other than the Drew Aller stuff, which yeah, I guess I can be upset about. I was happy with everything that they did. I mean, we addressed our offensive line has always been brutal the past few years, but every year I think they have consistently gotten us better. Look no further than Broderick Jones on the Steelers. He kind of started off mediocre, and just this last year he really shined for me, and now we're getting that line even better for whichever quarterback is going to start. So but I think our line is being addressed. That's some of our primary issues we've been dealing with. As far as defense is going, defense is going to be, I think, going to be getting a little bit better. Jalen Ramsey, I know we've kind of talked about him. He's getting a little bit older, but it's not like he had a rough season. But I think we're getting in the preparation for some younger guys to come in there. And honestly, I could potentially see, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, this could be a full rebuild that we're truly seeing going on here. And I just hope that it means there's going to be a greater future for the Steelers going forward.
Levi, do you want me to be a Debbie Downer on you?
Do it.
No.
I saw some people speculating because, mind you, Broderick Jones at the end of the season got a neck injury.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some people speculating with the whole with their first round draft selection to go offensive tackle. That some people are speculating the fact that it might be career altering or career ending for Broderick Jones.
Ooh.
Oh,
So take that with a grain of
I hope it doesn't
salt.
come to that.
Oh, again, we're hoping that it does not come to that at all. We do not promote career-ending stuff or harm on any individuals for injuries wise, but that's just what I've been seeing on the internet regarding a lot of fans of Pittsburgh saying that it's an indication that Broderick Jones is either going to be out long term or he might be out for his career. Which again, I hope that's not the case because Broderick Jones is a good offensive tackle, but I just want to put that in your sphere of understanding.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Who do you think is going to be the starting quarterback, Levi? I mean, I kind of want to see Will Howard go out there and take some snaps.
That's what me and Aiden have been saying. We want Will Howard to start. He's been there for a year. He hasn't had a chance to start. That's if Aaron Rodgers isn't coming back after Mason Rudolph plays like 2 or 3 games, I want Will Howard out there tossing dimes into the end zone.
Is Rodgers doing those retreats into that what was
his darkness retreats with ayahuasca? His darkness retreats with ayahuasca or whatever drug he's probably taking.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I'm gonna go into my losers. My losers are the San Francisco 49ers. I thought it was very interesting how like they kept on trading back. I didn't think that they addressed a lot of the issues that they needed to address. I thought they should have gone offensive tackle to prep for moving on from Trent Williams. They didn't really do that in the first round. So I did think that they do a good job in terms of drafting this year. My next one, Arizona Cardinals. What are you doing taking Jeremiah Love at 3? You are ruining this man's career. You have no offensive line. Seek help. Find somebody to talk to. Seek some help, Arizona Cardinals. And then my last one, Levi's going to absolutely hate this. I put down the Pittsburgh QB situation because, mind you, the official players on the roster are Mason the Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer, Drew Aller, and Will Howard. Woof.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Levi, if you guys go 9-8, Mike McCarthy might win Coach of the Year with that QB situation room. If he somehow gets his team to the playoffs, he's definitely going to be seen as one of the best coaches of all time in Pittsburgh lore. But to your thing, Levi, I do think the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers are probably going to go into a rebuild in the next few years because, again, I'm not as high on Will Howard as you guys are. I think that Will Howard could be a serviceable quarterback, but he's not going to be like this, oh my gosh, like he's an amazing QB. Like I think he's got a pretty low ceiling and a pretty low floor where he's just going to be okay. But again, Drew Aller, I don't know why you're wasting a 3rd round pick on a guy that really you need to address several different issues. But when you look at this QB room for Pittsburgh, it's just not looking great.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I hope they do good this year. I really hope that you're wrong. I hope that you're wrong, but it definitely does look like it could be going that route. No question.
All right. Matt, who do you have as your losers?
Whoa. So my losers, the kick us off was the Rams. I mean, okay, I get it. Matthew Stafford, he's nearing the end of his career. But I think using that 1st round pick on a quarterback, but especially Ty Simpson, and this isn't a diss at him. I think it's just when you look at the fact that he started 1 year of college football at Alabama, it started giving me PTSD, and it started giving me those flashbacks to Mitch Trubisky. And that's what it feels like. And I mean, it felt like a disaster. I mean, you have Stafford on his way out. You have Stetson Bennett, which like I'm not like too huge on him. I mean, he played a lot of college football, so I understand. But I think to then waste that 1st round pick when you had other needs to bring on Ty Simpson, that felt just off. And I was just like, what are you guys doing? Next, this will be controversial because I see why a lot of people like him. But the Jets, David Bailey, I see how good he is, but I really liked Ruben Bain Jr. So I'm not a huge fan of the Jets pick. I think he went a little too early. And then to really cap it off, I love Ohio State. I love Carnell Tate. Jordan Tyson was available though, and I really like the value he brings, and I feel like the Titans should have gotten him. So those are my losers. I mean, hopefully it works out with Cornell Tate on the Titans. But I just, yeah, like I said, I feel like they should have gone Tyson. I really like Jordan Tyson at Arizona State. Was coached under what's his face, former wide receiver for the Steelers.
Oh, Heinz Ward.
Heinz Ward, yeah, he was the wide receivers coach. So I just, I don't know. I really like Tyson and his play style. But yeah, those are my losers. Also, did you guys hear about what happened? You know, Levi being the Steelers fan, like, did you hear about the whole Steelers and Eagles situation at the draft?
Yes,
Oh
with
my
Makai
gosh.
Lemon.
Yes,
He's so
so
salty
So
about it. He's so
frustrating.
salty
yeah,
about it.
I didn't even know about it until you know, I see a clip where Makai Lemon's getting a call from the Steelers that they're drafting him, and all of a sudden he looks at the people next to him. He's like, I'm getting another call, and it's from the Eagles, so he picks it up. And I guess his agent or whoever started freaking out. They were like, "The Eagles are picking you. The Eagles are picking you." And all of a sudden, that's when the Eagles traded with the Cowboys, jumped ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then stole their pick, which is like, that was crazy. So I do wonder, was that Steelers tackle? Was it? I mean, they had to have a plan, but a part of me was like, was that a panic pick? Like, did they?
Yeah, I've wondered that myself a little bit.
I don't think it was a panic pick because obviously, like, as you know, Matt, like, every team has a draft board. Like, they obviously
Yeah.
have their first option, but
Yeah.
obviously, if it doesn't happen, like, you go to the second option. If it's not the second option, go to a third option. I think it is interesting the fact that one, like, why are the Steelers contacting someone when it's not their pick?
Exactly.
Because I think like that's like improper communication. I think with a prospect,
Yeah.
that NFL teams cannot have. But also, too, I've seen a lot of like Steelers fans like be salty online and say like, "Oh, like the NFL's got to investigate the Eagles. Like this is like clear, like there's all that stuff." And I'm like, no, like the Steelers should not be communicating with the prospect unless it's like a private workout, which like again teams can do with a private workout with them. But also like when you're in the draft, like you can't just go up and like imagine like if it's a Steelers like going to talk to Fernando Mendoza like, hey, we're going to pick you at 23. It's like when he's the first overall pick. Like that's just weird. Like you shouldn't be contacting a prospect when it's one not your pick, and then two, it's like why are you contacting them so far ahead when really like again it's the Eagles pick, and like, I don't think the Steelers probably knew the Eagles were going to pick them, but it is weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, with the NFL draft, you have to keep in mind that like if someone's picking before you, that team could easily trade it with someone else, and that's exactly what we saw that happen. It was like the Cowboys, yeah, the Steelers were next, and the Steelers were under the thinking of, okay, well, the Cowboys are not going to go wide receiver. They somehow had that knowledge that the Cowboys weren't going to go Makai Lemon. That wasn't what they needed. And so, yeah, they make that call to him thinking they're going to get him. And then, yeah, I mean, the Eagles swoop in. And part of me, like, living here, I'm like, man, like, did the Eagles do that on purpose to screw over the Steelers?
Yes,
Or like,
100% yes.
Because there's,
It felt intentional. I swear it did.
I was going to say, because, like, living here, I'm starting to learn that, like, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, I don't know if they're rivals in a sense, but like they don't like each other, very competitive, especially when they.
It's kind of like two brothers that share the same house, but they dislike each other.
My main problem was, I mean, first off, I mean, it's an in-state rivalry. Second off, they traded a pick with the Cowboys, a division opponent. You really decided to do that, Dallas? You gave your division opponent a pick. Like, what are we doing?
Levi, here's another point to go with this as well. The Eagles have done this in the past. I think it was like, what? Do you remember, Matt, like back when they drafted Dallas Goedert? The Eagles did when they had Zach Ertz, and it's like you don't need to draft Dallas Goedert because the Cowboys were about to draft Dallas Goedert because he was right there. The Eagles trade up above the Cowboys. I think it was like the third or fourth round and draft Dallas Goedert ahead of the Cowboys, and the Cowboys were just like, you guys stink because of the fact that you just took up that player. Mind you, the Eagles are super petty. They don't care. They can get a surplus of talent because they realize, like, hey, if we could just get this good player to screw over another team, they're more than willing to do it.
Well, I thought the most like disrespectful part of it was like, man, you did it to the Steelers who are hosting the NFL draft. Like that was wild. But I am looking back at what you said, Peter, about like how they have to have a plan. So in a sense, like I do feel like it was panic, but at the same time, with you addressing Broderick Jones and like kind of what's going on with him, maybe that was a smart pick, right? You get a guy who could potentially, replace him. They need a backup, like someone who could probably take that position if things don't go well with that. But hopefully things
Right.
work out with Broderick Jones. Cheering you on, buddy.
Yeah.
Right. All right, Levi, what are your losers from this year's draft?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of rapid fire here. My losers, they're not like it's not like necessarily like bad for them. It's simply the fact that these teams that I picked, they were very good going into playoffs, and were Super Bowl contenders, but not necessarily. It's like it's just because they didn't have the best picks that overall didn't sound so good. But kind of going here, I picked the Jaguars again, a great playoff team. There just wasn't anything too drastic that they had to make change. I mean, they drafted a tight end in the first round, so yeah, that's going to give them a little help um, going forward here. But there wasn't I don't think there was really a whole lot that the Jaguars needed to address. So with them being, I think, good enough that I think Trevor Lawrence is going to do incredible next season, and there's not a lot of issues that need to be addressed. Probably, if there's one thing for them, probably going to be defense. I mean, in their playoff loss, I can't remember specifically the specifics behind the game, but I do know I don't think their defense was just on point going into their final playoff game. Uh, Also went with the Denver Broncos. Again, phenomenal playoff team. Their season ended with, unfortunately, Bo Nix getting injured and just now missing the Super Bowl. But, there wasn't anything too drastic, again, that they need to have addressed. But they kind of overall, nothing that really surprised me for the Broncos. But now I will say, my team that I feel like out of these two that I've just mentioned so far, I think the Packers had the worst draft. I'm really sorry, Bryce, but I just did not like what you guys did. My biggest thing, and I can't say I blame him, it has to do with Micah Parsons. Do you guys remember how many picks they traded for Micah Parsons? Wasn't it 2?
Two first-round picks. It was this year and next year.
Yeah, they gave up a
This
lot.
year,
They were
next
trying to
year, yeah.
replicate the Bears Khalil Mack trade, but yeah, it went south.
Yeah, so I mean, they don't have their first pick until the second round, and at this point, there's not a lot of heavy hitters on the board for them. So it was really just kind of addressing little small things that they can do to improve. Again, I think the Packers, I think they'll be all right next season. But just nothing of significance that I think is really making much improvement to the team. Micah Parsons is the heart and soul of that team, of that defense. And I think it makes it very well worth having a bad draft this year.
Hey, as long as the Bears beat the Packers, that's all that matters. It's all that matters.
I really like
Yes,
the
sir.
Texans. I mean, that day 2, Caden McDonald out of Ohio State, that D lineman, that was a beautiful moment. I mean, a guy getting his dreams to come true. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And we don't like frown upon anybody who gets drafted here. Again, these are all these guys going into from the first round to the final round. A very incredible opportunity. You don't have a lot of guys getting drafted. There's hundreds and hundreds of college athletes out there that want a shot at this. So not looking bad on any of these guys. You guys can do phenomenal things in the NFL, and shout out to all you guys who made it to be able to get into this draft and be able to become part of an incredible football league. So shout out to all you guys who made it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big props to them.
All right. That was our NFL draft winners and losers. Unfortunately, Matt has to bow out a little bit, but Matt, we do appreciate you coming on, helping us out a little bit for today's
boys.
episode.
Sir, thank you, Matt. We appreciate you.
Hey, it was
again. Matt will be a reoccurring member of our podcast going on. So again, Matt, we greatly appreciate you stopping by this week's episode.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
boys.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Can't wait for the NFL season to start. Excited to see what the Bears do. I feel like, they did a lot this offseason. So, like Peter said, hopefully we beat the Packers again twice. That'll be beautiful. But yeah, looking forward to being on the next one, guys.
Yes, sir. Thanks
All
again,
right.
Matt.
All right, Matt, appreciate you. Thank you. All right. So that was Matt, and that was our NFL draft winners and losers. We are going to go into our next topic. The NCAA has decided to expand March Madness from 68 to 76 teams. This will take place starting next year. From what I have seen, the 10 through 13 seeds will now all be decided in a play-in style format, similar to, again, the 6 and 11 seeds that they've done. There will now be 12 games played in the first 2 days of the tournament. I've seen a lot of media outlets, Levi, saying that this is great for the sport, saying that mid-majors will get more spots. But I myself, who am a mid-major fan, believe that this is just more of a money grabbing for the NCAA to have more Power 4 teams to get in. But what are your thoughts on this expansion? Was it needed, not needed? Like, what do you feel?
I think reality, if anybody asks why these things happen, it's because of money. NCAA, there's been a lot of changes in the past decade, not just in basketball, but in football and all their sports. They they've arguably are getting greedy, but it can still be a great benefit. I mean, the NFL playoff, the college football playoffs have been incredible with their expansion and gives more teams opportunity. It kind of sounds like that's kind of what they're going for here. And correct me so if I'm wrong, but you mentioned play-in, so it sounds like to me this is supposed to be like a similar fashion to how the NBA does their play-in games going into the playoffs.
No,
Is that right?
it's similar to. Do you remember like how like the 6 and like certain 6 seed and 11 seed teams will have like teams to decide like, how
Correct.
like
You're
when they get in? Same
right.
format.
Well, because like that's the first four in
Yes,
format, correct?
and now
Yeah.
it's like the
So
now it's like the first like 12. I think it's or however they're going to pronounce it now.
yeah, so it's very interesting. The only thing I'm really wondering from this is with a further expansion to March Madness, does this indicate that they're going to play less games in the regular season? Is this going to
No,
be wrongful on the season? Okay.
no.
So if they're keeping things consistent, I suppose this is going to be a great benefit. The only downside I could really see is just by playing these additional games, the wear and tear on the athletes occurs far sooner. Whereas some of these guys, they're going to guarantee their spot and have plenty of opportunity. But for those guys that are just mean outside, now they have to play some additional games, to secure their spot into the tournament. So, but I personally think it'll be interesting. I think that's kind of how every NCAA fan for any sport has been with these expansions for playoffs.
I'm just personally against it. I thought that the way that March Madness was set up already was totally fine. It's a month-long tournament. It's completely awesome. The field of 68 is an awesome thing to have. But to just expand to 76, I just feel like it's unnecessary. Now, I just think too is the fact that this is just the NCAA's attempt to really try and go forward and like try and make more money from like these regional sites because these are NCAA regulated hosted events. I just don't understand like why you want to have like 8 more teams in it. Like I've seen something like, oh, this is great. This is what the fans asked for it. The fans didn't ask for this. The fans wanted more representation for mid-major teams. Like, shoot, we had Bruce Pearl sitting up on the pedestal saying that a 17-16 Auburn team should have made it into the postseason over an undefeated Miami, Ohio team. Like, what are we talking about? Like, we need to have better teams, aka better mid-major teams, make it in over mediocre to bad Power 4 teams. And Levi, we've had this discussion before. I'd rather have a fantastic, good mid-major team be an 8, 9 seed, 10 seed, 11 seed, 12 seed, whatever it might be, over a bad Power 4 team that was on the bubble, on the cusp, but they got in because of the fact that, oh, but look at their schedule. Who do they play? Who cares? Like it doesn't matter who they play. It matters along the lines of like, how do you fare in those games? Like, do you win those games? Do you lose those games? Like all the other statistics that go with it. I just hate the fact that now we're just promoting more mediocrity and more bad teams that shouldn't be in it and over really, in my opinion, mid majors who, like, really, when you look at the Missouri Valley Conference, like your Drakes, your Northern Iowas, or you go to the A10 with your Daytons and your Creightons and all those teams, like Loyola Chicago. Like, those are phenomenal teams that I would love to watch in March Madness, but we're not going to get that because I'm going to watch let's say, an 18-16 Minnesota Golden Gophers team make the tournament. Woo. I'm so excited for that. I don't want that.
Yeah, I also have to mention the biggest problem. I think we covered this during the season as well, is the inclusion of NIL. Nowadays these schools are getting paid, these players are getting paid, and now we're going to be seeing a lot of players, get paid to go play for a certain school. That, I think, when we discussed it, is the tournament overall going to be ruined by the NIL. We're going to look at these top teams like the Kentuckys, like the UNC, like Duke. They're going to get all these star-studded players, and their teams are just going to continue to improve. Whereas some of these mid-major schools, they're not going to have as much funding as these guys to bring in some of the best players, which goes into our argument is like, well, is this all completely ruined by NIL? There's not going to be as many shocking outcomes, as many Cinderella stories of these teams that are in that mediocre range beating some of the teams that, you know, we know from their history are incredible and are pretty much like the Goliath in this situation. They're an impossible team to take down. And so with them including NIL, it seems like now they want to get into expanding the tournament as well, so that, hey, yeah, we're gonna let these teams, we're gonna let them pay their players, pay to go grab these guys, but we don't want to lose the mid majors completely, or at least attempt to. So let's expand it a little bit further, so that way we can give those teams the opportunity, but then we can narrow it down once it gets to the actual tournament. That, hey, now we have all of like our best teams out there playing in this tournament. So I suppose in some aspects, yes, it is truly a good thing, but there's definitely a lot of bad to it, and I think it really just has to stem from the massive changes that college sports are having with the NIL, and that sounds like that's probably why they're going this route.
Right. Again, we'll have to see. Because again, like, well, we don't know what those changes will look like. We'll have to wait till next March to see what those changes look like. So hopefully, again, in the future, we see how everything's going to fare moving forward with March Madness when it gets to that point next March. Our next talking point will be the NBA playoffs. Levi, are now officially most of them are going to the first round. During this recording, we just saw that the Detroit Pistons came back from 3-1 and beat the Orlando Magic to advance on to the next round. Well, they will play the Philadelphia 76ers, who also came back down from 3-1 to advance to the next round. Levi, what are your reactions to really those two comebacks?
Oh my goodness. I I am baffled by this outcome by the Orlando Magic. I'm sitting there with my roommate Nico, and we're reacting to this entire game in Game 6, and our initial thoughts, like, this team is incredible. Like, what number 8 team is going to come and defeat the number 1 Detroit Pistons, who again have come on a significant improvement and look like a team that could win this all? And we're seeing them get destroyed by the Magic in their first 3 games. And now you got the Pistons, they come back. It's like, okay, now the series is getting interesting. Looks like the Detroit team has actually come here to play and are serious about this run they're trying to make in the playoffs. Then you get to Game 6. Everything is all 3, they're 3-2 at this point. And Magic comes out here, they're up 24 points in the first half. Everybody's on a high there in Orlando. I had a lot of people that I knew that went to that game, super excited for this team. Like, man, these guys could really win it all. They go into the second half. They scored 19 points in the second half overall. They had 11 points in the third and 8 8 points in the fourth quarter. I'm sorry, 9 points. They had 9 points in the fourth quarter. What were we doing? They went out there, they missed every single shot. There was a lot of fouls, I will say, that went Detroit's way. They didn't get a lot for Orlando. But how can you go and call yourself a playoff team? You looked like there was a reason you were the 8th seed. We were completely shocked that you guys were winning this series, and then you go and play like an 8 seed. You guys should have been the number 1 seed basically on how you played through your first 4 or 5 games. And now you guys just got yourselves eliminated from the playoffs in an embarrassing fashion, might I add. This has got to be without a doubt one of the worst collapses I have seen in an NBA playoff game in my entire life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was baffled too. I was very shocked that the Magic had that absolute collapse in the game 6, because they looked like they were about to put away Detroit and like upset a number 1 seed. I think it would have been the first like number 1 seed to lose since Miami beat the Bucks, if I remember correctly, with Giannis that series, and they had Jimmy Butler, and that team went on to go to the NBA Finals. I was shocked by that. I was even more shocked with the Sixers. Again, when we did our NBA playoff preview, I was sipping on the Celtics Kool-Aid. I was all in on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown being like this dynamic duo. Jason Tatum coming back from his Achilles injuries with this almost 60-win Boston Celtics team for the regular season, and they just collapsed. And I'll give credit where credit is due. The Sixers came out, they just put their nose to the grind and just absolutely gutted out a gutsy win versus the Celtics, albeit there were certain points in that game 7 where it did look a little dicey for the Sixers, but obviously, you know, they finally get a playoff win in his year where it's like a lot of people thought that they weren't going to be able to be that good. But hey, now comes the greatest challenge of all in Joel Embiid's career in Philadelphia 76ers. It's called the second round. And if they get past the second round, they get to the conference finals, Levi, they'll get to the conference finals for the first time since Allen Iverson was on that team.
Really?
Yes. That long. So it's been that crazy. Some other news, the Timberwolves upset the Nuggets and win that series 4-2. I love that series. That series is awesome, Levi. I don't know if you caught any of that action. Shout out to Terrence Shannon Jr. and Ayo Dosunmu, 2 Fighting Illini. They went out and completely gave work to Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets that series. Also, shout out to the Timberwolves. They had 8 active players in that last game versus the Nuggets, and they gutted out and won it. So
crazy. When Anthony Edwards, he got injured during the series, right?
Correct.
It was
he has a bone bruise in his knee.
Yeah, like I was kind of baffled that this team, Anthony Edwards, that's their guy. There's no question to that. And when he gets injured, you know, a lot of expectations probably like, oh, I think Denver's going to win this series. But they managed to perform amazing even without Anthony Edwards in there. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like this team could be on fire whether they have their best guy or not. They still have some good pieces. Then they work together, incredible. But I was a little shocked by the Nuggets. Everybody's talking about Jokic, and I would have been surprised if they went and win another one. But yeah, the Timberwolves, that was not a team I was expecting to be in this playoffs and to be moving on to the second round. Very incredible for them.
Yeah. Shout out to Dosunmu, that's my guy. He was averaging over almost like 21, 22 points a game in that series that you have versus the Timberwolves. Or versus the Nuggets, excuse me. So again, gutsy win by the Timberwolves. They are going on. They're playing the San Antonio Spurs, who beat the Blazers 4-1 in an absolute thumping. Obviously, the story was Victor Wembanyama coming back from his concussion. But obviously, like the Spurs, even without Victor Wembanyama, have proven that they are a team that is just built to be a postseason contender. So shout out to them. And then another one, the Thunder have swept the Suns. shout out to the NBA refs because they were the biggest storyline because Devin Booker got fined $35,000 for calling out that referee, saying that he was bad at his job, which was so funny.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's there's no surprise here. They're the reigning NBA champs. They are they're stacked on that team. Shea's an incredible player, and I kind of feel bad for the Suns. They got
Controversially a foul
absolutely
merchant.
destroyed.
Controversially a foul merchant.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. 2 shots. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
But yeah, I'm not surprised by Thunder, and now unfortunately the Lakers have to go up against them in their second round. So prayers up for that.
Yep, and obviously the last series that we're going to talk about before we get into Raptors versus Cavs, because they're about to tip off in about 16 minutes as we're recording this. The Atlanta Hawks.
Oh my gosh.
Thoughts and prayers. Hey, can we get a moment of silence for the Hawks? Shout out to Shaquille. That moment where Shaq was like trying to resuscitate the mascot on Inside the NBA was so funny. He goes, oh. And like, he put the little tiny toy mascot on a coffin. I'm just like, bro, that's so sad. But yeah. that was shocking. That Hawks game was bad.
Well, yeah, and I mean specifically, it comes into Game 6, and when I saw that game, the first thing that came to my head is that Bart Simpson meme. Stop it! He's already dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. When I watched this game, I thought like Magic's upset was really bad. This is so much different because the Knicks actually did not blow their lead that they had. But the Knicks, man, shout out to New York. Congratulations. You guys have an incredible Knicks team.
Hey, the good news is you don't have Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers to give you PTSD this time.
Oh, but don't worry. I'm sure they'll be back there next year to bring up some concerns. But I mean, I think the highlight of their matchup was Brunson. I'm a big Jalen Brunson believer, and they've turned this Knicks team around, and I don't know, maybe they're not going to be that team that gets toyed with every year, as stated in that in the movie Soul.
I mess with this team every year, and the Knicks lose again. Yeah, not this time, but shout out to the Knicks. Like that, no, that game was over by the first quarter. Like it was like 45-19 at the end of the first, and I think it was like what they were almost up by like 50 at half, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I'm pretty sure.
Like it was a thumping by the Knicks. They didn't come around to play. They were like, we're coming in here and we're putting down the Hawks, and then obviously the Knicks are going to play the winner of the last game as we're recording this, the Raptors versus Cavs. Going to Game 7, a la the whole RJ Barrett, Kawhi Leonard-esque three-pointer that he made to send the game to Game 7. Levi, I don't know if you caught that game, or that shot, but that was incredible.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I'm rooting for the Cavs. I'm sorry, Raptors fans, but I was hoping that they were going to be able to close out the series, and now that we have to go to Game 7 to see the final conclusion to this, I've been a James Harden hater. I will say that, but I'll give him this pass this one time because I think it would actually be kind of cool to see him take the team and they can go get themselves to maybe like probably the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think they're going to get all the way to the finals, but it's such a shakeup. James Harden's been in so many different situations with different teams, and it's just kind of nice to see him get a little bit of glory in the playoffs since he hasn't had a whole lot of success. So, but I'm really hoping for the Cavs on this one.
Yeah, we'll have to see because again, as we're recording this, they're just about to tip off. We'll obviously get our reactions to that game on the next episode. But yeah, Levi, out of all these series, what has stood out to you the most? Like, what series or like what team has stood out to you the most this first round?
Yeah, I mean, going back to OKC, they're the reigning champs.
Mm-hmm.
They do not seem like they have a single flaw. I think hot take here, I think we're on the verge of our next super team. I think the last one to be that would be the Warriors back
Mm-hmm.
in the late 2010s. And I believe this is where Thunder is going. I could see them in this. We're in 2026 right now. I believe by 2030, I believe that they will have won at least a total of 3 NBA finals. I think that
Ooh.
they are that. I think they're that good that this is the dynasty. This is Shea's story now. He's going to be the guy that's running the NBA, and the Thunder has given us a lot to root for. Everybody was excited for them last year winning it. I mean, this was this was their first championship to take to OKC, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, and now they feel like the Warriors, where they're going to be the team that's hated, because if they go on and they win a total of 3 in the next 4 years, they're going to become the next hated team outside of Warriors from their dynasty. So, but I think they're the team that stands out, and they have a bright future ahead, no question. I will not be surprised if they are playing for the championship again this year.
Yeah. I think the series that stood out to me, I think the most was the Timberwolves. I think that team has that grit and grind mentality of like getting it out of the mud. I think really overall, like even with Anthony Edwards being out they lost Io Dosumu in that game 6 due to a calf injury. They came out and played phenomenal. Julius Randle did really, really good. Terrence Shannon came out with 21 points in a role where it's like he's not used to being in the starting lineup and played very well. I just think that this Sixers team like really has this like dogged mentality of like really giving it to teams and like really like getting it out the mud and like playing their way at basketball. I think it'll be a great matchup. Rudy Gobert versus his fellow countryman and Victor Wembanyama in the second round. Those two guys are just gonna be battling it out, and I'm gonna be very excited to see how they're really like the future face of the league in Victor Wembanyama versus like a guy in Rudy Gobert who is like I think it's a 3 or 4 time defensive player of the year. So it's gonna be very exciting to see that.
Yeah. I don't know if they've announced Anthony Edwards' return. I don't know if we have any updates.
They say he's
for
out
injury.
at least 2 weeks, so he
It's 2
could miss
weeks.
the whole entire next series potentially.
He could, and I guess I just kind of really hope for the Timberwolves, like you mentioned there. They've been incredible so far, and they could be one of those great underdogs going into the second round, and maybe later on in the next few rounds. But I think it's going to be pretty difficult for them, especially with having Anthony Edwards in this second round. And it's like you said, the Spurs they destroyed the Blazers, and Victor Wembanyama, he's been incredible, and it's going to be hard for the Timberwolves. I think I'm if I'm going to be addressing what like the series record could be, I'm going to say it's going to be the Spurs. It's going to be 4-2. They win at least 2 games.
Well, we'll have to see. Again, the NBA playoffs have been absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely. 3, 2.
All right, everyone. Now it's time to play NBA Guess My Player. Here's how it's going to work. I have 3 players. Levi has 3 players. We'll go one at a time. Levi has 10 questions, and I'll have 10 questions to guess his player. If Levi guesses who my player is and doesn't get it correct, that is one of his questions. The first one to get at least all 3 or at least get a majority of them wins. So, Levi, you're up first. Try guessing my player.
Okay. All right. Let's start off with this. Peter, does your guy have hair?
Yes.
Okay. Is he above 6 foot?
Yes.
Okay. Does this guy live on the west side of the country?
No.
No. Okay. So he's probably
Are you talking about
playing.
lives or currently plays? Because that's two different things.
Liz. Okay, he lives. He lives in the West Coast.
I think he does live in the West Coast. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm fairly positive that his primary home is on West Coast.
Okay, I'm only assuming he could be because if that's the case, it sounds like this guy could be playing in the East. I know I can't ask that as a question, but this guy probably also has to be, somewhat close to home from where his home team resides in. So that's my whole thing with that. Does this guy have a beard?
Yes. Again, you can ask basketball related questions too. This doesn't have to be just primarily
So we
physical
can.
attributes.
Okay. So we can do this. Okay. Is their first game being played in Oklahoma?
No.
No. He's at least 6 foot.
He's above 6 foot.
He's above 6 foot. He's above 6 foot. Has a beard. He has hair. Is this guy the number one on the team? Wherever this
No.
team is. No.
He's not the number one option. No. You're at 6 questions.
Questions. Okay. Is this guy a center?
No.
This is tough, man. Who could this be? I gotta dig around here.
I think what threw you off the most, the fact that you said that he lives, like, where does he live? I think that's throwing you off.
Yeah, probably does, I'm sure. Is it Wemby?
It is not Victor Wembanyama. You just asked if it was a center, and I said no.
Oh yeah. I guess you're right. Oh my gosh. Oh good lord.
You need to start writing these questions down.
I know. Well, I know. I guess I didn't fully prepare for this, but yeah, that's tough.
I think that was question 7, so you got 3 more questions.
Okay. Is it Cade Cunningham?
It is not Cade Cunningham.
Is this player black?
Yes. That's question 9. So question 10,
yeah.
then you gotta
Great.
figure this out.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, that's not fun. Okay.
It's a problematic question.
It is very problematic. This is pretty difficult.
I would have gone with a simpler of like, does this guy play on Eastern Conference, Western Conference? But you've already dug yourself a hole.
Yeah, I really did. That's my fault. Is it Jalen Brunson?
It is not Jalen Brunson.
All right, who are we looking at here?
I had down Paul George.
Gosh, dang.
Yeah, when you said like, oh, where does he live? I'm like, well, he lives in LA, but he plays for the Sixers.
Yeah, I really did dig myself a hole there. I guess if I knew we could ask basketball related questions, I would have asked if he played in the East or West. So
yeah, you can ask basketball related questions.
Okay, yeah, okay, then that's rest in peace, me.
All right, Levi's 0 for 1. Now I'm up. All right, Levi. First question. Is your player bald?
No, he is not.
Dang it, that would have narrowed it down. Is your player on the starting lineup?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so he's not a scrub. Does your player play in the Pacific time zone?
No.
Okay. Is your player a wing player?
What player?
Like wing player, so like shooting guard, small forward.
No, he's not.
Okay. So he's either power forward, center, or it's a point guard. He's not in the Pacific time zone, so that eliminates the Lakers. Trying to think. Playoff teams. Is your player does your player have facial hair?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, so he does have facial hair. Is your player a post player, like a power forward center?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so that does not help at all because I was hoping it was a guard play. That stinks. I think this will help narrow it down. Is your player an American?
Let me double check that. This is probably stupid of me not to know this.
What?
No, he's not. He is not.
He's not American. Okay, so that really does help me a lot because so he's a post player not from America.
No, he is not.
What the world? Okay, you wouldn't go obvious and pick Wemby, so I'm trying to eliminate people that are not Victor Wembanyama. So it's not Chet. It's not Chet. It's not Isaiah Stewart. It's not Jarrett Allen. It's not Scotty Barnes. It's not Scotty Barnes? No. I think he is from the US. Does your player play for a team that has a shade of blue on its logo?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, so that means I'm boiled down to the Timberwolves and the Sixers.
Yeah, you are.
So that means it's either Joel Embiid or Rudy Gobert, and you did say it's not both, so I'm going to go with Joel Embiid.
Yeah, you got him, Joel Embiid. Yeah,
Let's go.
Got it. You're very well versed there. Wonderful job. Okay.
All right, so I'm one up on you.
Yeah, you got me there. Okay, I'm gonna start off here. Is your player white?
No, he is not white.
He's not white. Okay. Does he have facial hair?
Yeah, I would say he has facial hair. Yeah.
Okay. Does he play in the Eastern Conference?
No.
Is this player an American?
Let me look it up real fast. I don't.
Okay.
I think he. It's a great question. He is not American.
It's not American. Okay.
I had to look that up. I had to look that up a little bit just to verify. He is not American. Confirmed.
He's not. Okay. That'll help a lot narrowing this down.
All right,
is he a starter?
Yes, he's a starter.
The starter, okay. Or where are we at right now?
You're at 4. I think that was question 4, I believe.
Is this guy an offensive-minded player?
I don't even know how to answer that. I'm going to keep it $150. I really don't know how to answer that.
Thinking about that is tough because for every position in the NBA, you're always playing offense.
I would say.
Do you think he's more on defense or on offense?
I think he's more. I think he's more defensive.
Defensive,
in my opinion, than offensive. I at least when I think of this player, I think of defense than offense.
Mm-hmm. More defense than offense, you think?
Yeah. Again, I think some fans might debate really my player, but I think he's more defense than offense. Remember, you can ask basketball questions.
Yeah.
I think you're at question 5 now.
And I guess just for clarification, so when I say he's a starter, that means like he's on the starting lineup.
Yes, he is on the starting lineup. It does.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Is it Devin Vassell? Is that how you pronounce it?
No, it's not Devon Vassell.
That's okay. It's not Anthony Edwards, is it?
It's not Anthony Edwards.
No. Shoot. Okay, so that's
7 questions, and you're not boiling this down. You need to boil it down further. You need to boil it down to a team. That's what helped me.
Is it the Spurs? Are they on the Spurs?
It's not the Spurs, no.
Okay. Oh gosh, man. I really am screwing myself here.
You really are.
I'm probably gonna hate myself when I find out who this team actually is. Is it Marcus Smart?
It is not Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart's from the U.S.
I don't know that. That's the problem. I ask these questions and I don't know some of these things. That's the problem.
Do you want me to give you a hint?
I mean, sure, you might as well.
You're on the right team with
I'm
Marcus
on the right
Smart.
team. Okay.
I will take away one.
Is it Hashimura?
It is not Rui Hachimura.
Gosh. I mean, I'm just guessing at this point. That's literally all I'm thinking.
You got one more question.
Yeah, so I guess
you are guessing these. You're guessing players way too fast. You need to boil it down to a team first.
Is it DeAndre Ayton?
It is DeAndre Ayton with your final guess.
Holy crap, man!
I had to hold your hand a little bit to get that.
I really got to filter it down even further. That's my problem. So okay.
All right, so we're tied up 1-1. Even though it did give you a bone on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I got to guess your next player.
Okay, go ahead.
Does your player play on the Eastern time zone?
No, they do not.
I got to think of states that are in the Eastern time zone. That's the hard part. Oh, that would eliminate either Cleveland or Toronto because that's the Eastern time zone too. So, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm boiled down to Pistons and the rest of the West. Is your player a guard?
Yes, he is. He's a guard.
He is a guard. Guard and doesn't play in the Eastern time zone. Was your player an all-star?
Let me see if I can figure that out for you.
That is extremely vague. Extremely vague.
Okay, so technically, yes, he was an all-star. When you figure this guy out, you'll understand why. That's why I had to look this up for a second.
So he's probably an entry reservist, or like he filled in for a player that had to not play. I want to eliminate this down a little bit further. Does your player play in the Central time zone?
No, he does not.
Okay, so that eliminates Texas and the Thunder and the Timberwolves. So this is the Lakers then. Unless Levi doesn't understand time zones. Which could possibly be the case. It could possibly be the case.
I wouldn't be too surprised if I, for some reason, didn't know my time zones.
So he went with a Laker. Okay. And he's a guard, and he's an all-star. So...
Asterisk.
With an asterisk. Hell? An asterisk all-star? So it's either Luka or Austin Reeves. Is this Austin Reeves?
Yeah. It's Austin Reeves, yeah. So I had to look it up because he was a replacement player for the All-Stars. So technically, yes, he was an All-Star, but it wasn't like starting off official.
5 guesses.
Yeah, very incredible performance here by Peter. So he's gonna probably have me beat here. I have no question. So
all right. Levi, you're up.
My last attempt here to actually narrow things down appropriately. So okay, let's get this started.
If we tie, we will go to backups.
We'll go to backups. Okay. Does this player play in the East?
No.
Does this team play in the Central Time Zone?
Yes.
Okay, that eliminates Lakers. And that eliminates the I think eliminates Spurs. I actually don't know their time zone. See what I mean about not knowing time zones? Yeah.
Texas is in the Central Time Zone. For your sake, they're in the East. They're in the Central Time Zone.
All right. Okay. So, well, I guess all I really did was eliminate Lakers from that. So
if it wasn't in Central Time Zone and if it was Pacific Time Zone, it would have boiled down to Lakers. So you would have been fine.
Yeah, that's really would have been. Yeah. So I guess I should have. Well, whatever. It didn't narrow down enough, but okay. Does the team he play on, did they just win a NBA championship?
No.
No. Okay. It's not Thunder. So that gives me, it's either Timberwolves or Spurs. Does he play for Minnesota?
No, he does not play for Minnesota.
Okay.
So he boiled it down to a team in 4 guesses. Improvement.
Woo! Improvement. Yeah. A lot of improvement there. Is this guy from our country?
Yes. Let me look that up just to make sure. I'm like 90% positive that he did play. He is from the U.S. But I'm going to look that up just in case, because if I am wrong, that's going to be very awkward.
Oh, it's already been awkward enough with my attempts here, so. While you're looking that up, is he white?
No, he is not white.
It's not white, okay.
Yes, he is from the U.S.
And he's from the U.S., okay.
So you're at question 6.
Question 6.
Question 6 going on question 7. Yes, he is the starting lineup.
Yes. Starting lineup, got it. Okay.
Wait, hold up. Let me look up that to verify that. I'm very positive he is on starting lineup.
Okay.
I'm pretty positive he is. That'll be super awkward if he wasn't. Everyone's probably like, do they know ball? Kind of.
Guys, we in fact do not know ball.
No, he is not this is weird. He's not a starter, but he plays almost starter minutes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
That's it. Oh, hold up. Let me see if it was just that game.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, he's not a starter. He is a bench player. But he plays starter minutes.
That actually kind of helps. That actually narrows it down a little bit for me. That's pretty good.
You can easily narrow you can easily knock this out.
Is this guy a forward?
By forward, you mean like shooting, like small forward, power forward, or like just like a forward in like the front court?
Yeah, front court, basically.
Like a power forward?
Probably like power forward, yeah.
I don't believe he is. No, he is not.
Okay.
He is not a forward. He's not a small forward or a power forward. It's a good question.
Is it Keldon Johnson?
No, it's not Keldon Johnson. Keldon Johnson's a forward.
Oh, he is a forward. Okay. That's weird. I was looking up their depth. They have him labeled under as a guard, so I'm not too sure why.
Where are you looking that up? I'm looking up on ESPN. I'm on ESPN too.
Well, they had him labeled for second. It had him labeled as SG, so he's not. But that's really weird. I don't know why it would have that wrong. Anyway, that's
no. I see it on my app. They have Keldon Johnson labeled as a forward.
Oh no! I see right now. So, as a second I guess second string. I don't know if that's the right term, but they have him as a second for SG, and then third.
Oh, I see.
Small forward and power forward. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, that makes actually a little more difficult then.
I think if you go in the box scores, you'll definitely see who my player is. But you're on the right trail.
Is it Stephen Castle?
No, Stephon Castle's a starter. It's not Stephon Castle.
Yeah, I must not be looking at the. Oh, wait. Is it Dylan Harper?
It is Dylan Harper.
Okay, yeah. Woohoo!
All right.
Yeah. Can't believe I actually got it.
We got there. It took a little bit, but it got there. We got there. It took a little bit, but it got there.
Good
All right. So we're tied up 2-2. If I get this player, I win.
Yeah, if you get it, you win.
All right. Levi, is this player a... Let's go with, is this player playing on a team a shade of orange in their logo?
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're cooking.
This dude's gonna get in 3 picks.
Okay. Is this player a starter?
Yes.
Is this player in the front court, so power forward, center?
Yes.
Is this... Okay, so...
I mean, this is real. I mean, this is pretty much easy. Like, you've narrowed it down to like 2 players, basically.
Not really. It's like 4.
2 or 3. Well, yeah, maybe around there too.
Because power forward, center doesn't help. I want to ask this question. Is this player zesty? You know who I'm asking about, right?
I'm guessing there's a joke behind it, and unfortunately, I do not know the answer. But maybe if when you figure out this guy, you can tell me if this guy is quote unquote zesty.
Like, well, here's the thing. Like, I'm asking if it's Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, yes, it's Karl Anthony Towns. And you know what? It's really funny you say that because right before I just asked that, I'm sorry for you, buddy, but when I looked at him, at his face, I'm actually like, okay, I think I see where Peter was going with this, and now I think he knows who it is. And you got it in like four picks there.
Oh so, my gosh. Okay, the main reason I asked that, Levi, is the fact that he always goes like, that's a foul. And he was like, stop. Like Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart make fun of him for talking like that. He goes like, that's a foul. Stop. That's why I was asking if he was zesty.
Oh my goodness.
I cannot believe I got that.
I can't believe that's how you figured it out. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Now, yeah, I mean, 2 zesty players, Karl Anthony Towns and Caleb Williams. Wonder who's more zesty.
How dare you insult Caleb Williams like that? At least Caleb Williams can actually play good on a consistent basis.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
All right, and then now the last thing we got for everyone is to rate that couch. Levi, what couch do you have for us?
Why don't you take a look at that?
Give me one moment.
I will tell you the background for it, or not the background, but where the time of day this picture is taken.
What
makes
the
it look
world
a little
is this?
better. But
is this a futon? What is this?
You know, it might be a futon potentially. I didn't even think about that, but looking at it, I could see how it could probably.
This looks like an IKEA futon. Am I wrong saying that?
Maybe it is. I know you're not wrong. I don't know if it actually is, but you know, I could see that. That's pretty good assumption.
I don't even know what to think about this. It's like the most I'm pretty sure if a very heavy person sat on this couch, Levi, this thing is breaking.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
It was like your cheap couch. You just got
also, you can't lay on this couch at all. This thing is like tiny.
Yeah, if I caught myself laying on that, I don't think I'd be too comfortable. But this feels like a couch that we would have had in college in our dorm.
This is literally a green version of your futon from our apartment.
Hey, that futon was comfortable. I know you cannot say that it wasn't.
No, the futon was very comfortable. I will say, and I did lay on that futon.
Yeah, I think the difference is with this one.
Those
cushions don't. Yeah, they look stiff. They look very stiff. But yeah, I think you're spot on. I feel like someone heavy sits on this is probably gonna break.
Yep,
Feels very cheap.
100%.
I'm giving it a 3.
Oh, you went low. Okay.
I went low. I don't really want to sit on this couch. I don't like the colors of either. I know I can't judge color, but yeah, that one doesn't look very comfortable.
I will give this a 3.2.
You love your decimals, don't you?
Sure. Let's just go with that. I'll give it a little bit of grace period. The pillows on this does go with the couch.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
My only thoughts is you weren't going to enjoy the colors. I mean, you notice what colors those are? Green and yellow.
Oh, yeah. Now 1 out of 10. Thank you for pointing that out. It's a 1 out of 10. Awful couch.
Yeah, you're
Burn this couch.
It's
a 3.2. It's a 3.2. I would sit on this if it was like a nice, like almost like a guest, not like a guest room, but it's like almost like it belongs in like, do you know like those like patio like rooms that like leads to the patio? Yeah, it's one of those.
This looks like that belongs on a patio. That not something that you sit on every day inside your home.
No.
Yeah, when you have guests over, sure, I'll sit on this couch. I'm sure it'll be okay. But yeah,
awesome. Yeah, everyone, thank you again for listening. Again, if you like this podcast, make sure that you follow us on Spotify and YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. Also follow us on Instagram and TikTok. It will help us out immensely. But Levi, what are you going to be watching this week?
Well, for those fans that don't know, I'm a really big Star Wars fan, and the season finale of the Darth Maul show is coming out actually tonight. So I will be watching the finale of that. Cannot wait to see that. Being a big Star Wars fan and all.
Mm-hmm.
This week, I actually talked with my buddy who is an OKC fan. We're gonna try and see if we can get together to watch the series together. So it'll be really fun. I really hope the Lakers can pull it off. I don't have a lot of hope, even if Luka came back, which I don't even think he's going to be clear for this series. But it's going to be fun nonetheless. And you know what better way to watch this series than with a friend who's a rival. So that'll be a lot of fun this week.
Yeah, and Levi, you probably need to chronicle each game, how you feel after each game. Just for our sake. Because for those that don't know, Levi is not a Laker fan. He is a LeBron fan. So
Whoa. I am a Laker fan here.
No, you're not. You're a LeBron fan.
When he retires,
ladies and gentlemen, he had a LeBron James Cavs jersey when we were in college.
No, that's not true. I had a Cavs t-shirt, but not a LeBron Cavs jersey. Although when he retires, I will probably have his full collection of jerseys from every team he played on. I already have 2 in the Lakers. I need to get a Heat and a Cavs.
You're the worst. I swear you're the worst. Yeah, this week for me, I'm going to be watching really the second round of the NBA playoffs. I'm going to really be tuned in for that Spurs and Wolves series because I think it's going to be a phenomenal one. Also, NHL playoffs, I'm going to be watching that a ton. But like Levi said, I'm also a huge Star Wars fan. Maul Dark Lord is going to be coming out with their season finale tonight as we're recording this because tomorrow is May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. But also celebrate May the 4th. And then on Tuesday, Daredevil Born Again comes out, I think, with their season finale, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to be watching that. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on this week. Again, for those of you that stick around to the end, again, thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on TikTok and Instagram at From the Couch Podcast. And be sure to follow us on Spotify and Instagram. Again, thank you all for listening and watching. And go out and enjoy your sports.
Yes, sir. We will see you next time.